has had the highest win rate when market taps into a 50% consequent encroachment of a PDRA. So today it is July the 20th, and today we are going to be looking at the market and the reasons why I didn't actually take this trade, as you can see if I put it on the screen right now. So this is the trade I marked out today. I did not take this setup, however it would have bagged me a 1-to-1, and if I would have held, it would have got me a 1 to nearly a 1-to-2. But yes, a 1-to-1 is what I was targeting, but I did not enter this trade, and I will press market replay and we will talk through it right now. So cool. If I've never used market bar replay before, so firstly I'm going to go to 3 p.m. This is when I start to trade, and cool. So going into market, this is 3 p.m. Now what I'm automatically looking for, as I said in the previous trade, I'm looking for reasons why market is going to go the way it wants to go, right? So cool. First thing I notice is we have a 4-hour gap up here, and we also have previous day high. So now this is automatically my drawn liquidity. This is automatically somewhere where I feel that price wants to go, especially because we are bullish, right? So the previous 4-hour candle closed bearish here. The 10 a.m. 4-hour candle closed bullish, and now I'm expecting this candle to close bullish as well. So cool. Now we've identified the bias. I'm looking for a buy today, right? So cool. Now we drop down to the 15-minute time frame, and I start marking out 15-minute PDRAs. Also, I drop down to the 1-hour time frame, and I start marking out 1-hour PDRAs, right? So cool. If I go to the 15-minute time frame now, automatically before I even look for PDRAs, I look for what happens at 9:30, because as you know, 9:30 is when New York Stock Exchange opens, and I'm normally 9:30 manipulates into some sort of PDRA. So as you can see, 9:30, as soon as it opened, manipulated up. We didn't sweep out this previous day high, and we didn't tap into the 4-hour gap, which is good. Those can still be our drawn liquidity later on in the line, right? However, what we did manipulate into was this 15-minute gap right here, and also, which we disrespected basically because we ran through it. But also, what do we have? Rejection wick. So if we mark out the fib, what do? We tapped into the 50% and the discount is 61% perfectly, right on the line of 61%, and then we had a major pullback, right? So we manipulated up, tapped into this rejection wick, or this can be a PDRA as well in itself. Hit the discounted 50% and 61%, automatically flushed down, right? So cool. This is what I've noticed as soon as 9:30 has opened. 9:30 pushed up, manipulated into this rejection wick, PDRA, whatever you want to call it, right? And has immediately had a reaction to the downside. Now, here, because I've noticed this, I am a bit iffy on where market might want to go. So what I start to do is mark out areas market might want to sweep before it continues going higher. So what do? I mark out these lows over here. So I'll mark out these lows. Market might want to sweep this low here, tap into this fair value gap, push up. The reason why I don't like this 15-minute fair value gap, it already got mitigated and hit the 50% of it as well. So that's a no-go for me already, right? So cool, we continue going down. What do we have here? We have this 15-minute order block, right? Or rejection block, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this is an order block. So this could be a drawn liquidity, a PD array that we could tap into to then push higher. So if I get this, so what market could do, tap here, CISD, right? Sweeping out previous day high. That's what could happen, right? But obviously we can only wait and see, right? So cool. Now I'm waiting for market to tap into a PD array. So if I go to 1 minute time frame and I go, I've never used bar replay before. Cool. So what do? Tap into this order block and reject off immediately. Now, what can I see market do? Firstly, I want to make sure that this PD array, this order block it tapped into, wicks off the 50%, which it did perfectly, right? So cool. Now this is at 9:30. I go down to the 1 minute time frame. I mark out CISD, which is right here, right? So cool. Now I'm waiting for CISD to get tapped into. So if we go, keep going, what do? We tap into the 15-minute order block again, right? Also, one thing I didn't mention, which I also noticed, if I drop to the 15-minute the 1 hour time frame, we have this large 1 hour rejection candle, right? This is something I notice as well. So what I do, I get my fib, mark it from the high to the low, and I mark out the 50% of this rejection, right? Or did I do the low to the high? No. So I mark out the 50% of this rejection candle, this rejection wick, right? Cool. So keep this in mind, right? Keep this in mind when later on in the line, right? So cool. Now I drop down to the 1 minute time frame. I'm waiting for CISD to get tapped into. I'm also looking if SMT got created here on larger time frame, and there was a SMT. There was not an SMT at these lows, right? If there was to be a SMT at these lows, that is more confluence for the trade going in my favor. But already in my mind, I'm already thinking we're overextended, right? We're overextended already. As soon as 9:30 opened, we've got all of this liquidity below, right? Which we could take out either one of these to then go higher or to continue to dump. So these are all things that are going on in my mind. So anyway, I'm sticking with my bullish bias. None of these have got swept yet, so I'm not worrying about it yet. So cool. I dropped down to the 1 minute time frame, like I said, keep saying, and now I'm waiting for CISD to get tapped into. So if I play price, what does price do? Price sweeps this low. We don't get a CISD entry, so automatically no entry here, especially because we disrespected the 15-minute order block. So now what do we have below? We have this 15-minute fair value gap here that we could run to, and this 15-minute order block as well, rejection block, whatever you want to call it. So we got two PD arrays right next to each other. More often than not, if there's a fair value gap right above a 15-minute order block, market will probably come down to the order block and tap into that. I just froze for a second. I don't know if it froze before, but yeah. So cool. Most likely market is going to tap into the order block rather than just the fair value gap. And if you can hear my PC, it sounds like a PS4 at the moment. I don't know, maybe I need to clean it. I don't know what's going on, but cool. So cool. Now I'm waiting for price to play out. So now I'm waiting for price to tap into one of these PD arrays. Playing price rejects off. Playing price. Nothing special. Cool. So as you can see, we tapped into this 15-minute. Didn't decide to take that because we didn't wake off 50%. Price continues. Right. Now, so we hit this 15-minute order block. Right. So I dropped down to the 1-minute time frame. I noticed we tapped into this 15-minute order block. Now, when I take trades, I like it to hit the 50% of an order block, a fair value gap, or whatever. Now, you can either draw your order blocks like this, where you draw it from the wicks, yeah, where you draw it from the wicks, or you do it from the bodies. Now, it's completely up to you what you want to do. An order block is an order block at the end of the day, yeah. So cool. I need it to hit the 50%. 50% consequent encroachments of anything in trading is an important value. It's an incredibly important value, yeah. Keep in mind, I drew out the 50% of this 1 hour rejection wick. Keep in mind, I drew out the 50% of this 1 hour rejection wick, yeah. Keep that in mind. So cool. Anyway, now I want price to resweep this low again, wick the 50%, and then create CISD. So that's what I'm waiting for, yeah. So we play price. What do? Swept this low. CISD becomes technically CISD is right here because we swept this low. You got a down close candle and a series of up close candles. CISD, right? So anyway, I take a CISD off here. This is what I'd be looking for now, yeah. So cool. We play price. Cool. CISD entry right here. So if I was to take this trade, I would enter here. So now I would enter actually, sorry, when this candle closes, stop loss below this low, and I would take a 1, 2, 1 or a 1 to 2. It completely depends on how confident you are in price action. Today, I wasn't confident in price action giving me a 1 to 2 because we already manipulated up and we've come down a lot. So if it was to come up and sweep these highs over here, I wasn't confident in it. So 1 to 1 is perfect for me. So now cool. I enter this trade, right? Hypothetically, I didn't actually because it didn't wick off the 50%. I still felt like we were gonna come down and wick off the 50%. So if I was to take this trade, this is what I would do if it did hit the 50%. So cool. We play price. Bang, 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 bang. Chop, 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 chop. TP. 1 to 1. Simple, right? This would have bagged TP. Obviously, price action, not the smoothest. On the 15-minute, pretty smooth. You know, it's a 15-minute candle. 1 minute wasn't smooth, right? Chop, 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 chop. But we hit TP. Nevertheless, in about 30 minutes, we hit TP. So this trade did play out. However, the whole reason I didn't take this trade was because we didn't hit the 50% of the order block. And now that's just something I've back tested, and that's something that has had the highest win rate when market taps into a 50% consequent encroachment of a PDRA. That's just how I trade. Now, on another day, market could have easily swept this low, wicked the 50%, stopped me out, and then carried on higher to my TP. Right? On another day, that could have happened. Today, not one of those days. It's fine by me. Is what it is. So anyway, Remember, guys, told you to remember the 50% of this 1 hour rejection wick. Keep that in mind, right? So cool. If I was to take a 1 to 2, my TP would have been right at this 50%, right? 50%, because it is the 50% of a PD array. A rejection candle, a rejection wick can also be a PD array, right? So cool. If I was to take a trade, like a longer term or a higher RR trade, my TP would be here. So let's just play price and see what it does. Chop in, chop in, chop in, chop in, chop in. Smacks TP. Smacks TP at this 50%, yeah, 50% of the 1 hour rejection wick. So now what does price do? We may play around, play around, play around, play around, and we dump. So market came up, tapped and wicked the 50% of the 1 hour rejection wick and carried on in the direction the 4 hour candle first started off. So we came down. So I want you guys to look at this very carefully, yeah? Because this is something that happens so often when you're trading and so often in the markets. It's unbelievable. 50% or consequent encroachments or discounts in any market work. Yeah, they work. 50% of fair value gaps work. 50% of rejection wicks work. 50% of order blocks and rejection blocks, they work. They work. Yeah. So I use this 1 hour rejection wick as a TP. Yeah. I would have used it as a TP if this was ticked all my boxes to enter the trade, but it didn't. It ticked about fucking, I don't know how many, but just not this one, right? So cool. Now that is basically the market, the trade breakdown, if you wish, the market analysis for the 20th of July. I hope you like this video. I hope you enjoyed this market analysis, this me talking about this, because it does help me as well. It helps me to look back at these videos and think, why did I not take this trade? What analysis did I do correctly, etc, 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 right? So this for me is a very good day, you know. Let me turn on some light. This to me is a very good day, you know. Even though I didn't take a trade, the fact that I analyzed the market in this way is already amazing to me. Yeah, I predicted the market and where it would have reversals, where I would enter to the T. And that's what you need to become in trading. You need to be like a sniper. You need to be in and out of trades with precision and accuracy. Otherwise, if you're sloppy with the way you take your trades, you'll be sloppy with everything else you do in your life, and ultimately it'll come back to bite you in your ass and you'll end up losing, right? I'm not profitable yet, but the fact that I can analyze the market, I can describe why I didn't take the trade, why I would have took the trade, why market did what it did, is already ahead of most people. And this is what's going to allow me to have those 50k months, have those 100k months, have those big trades, right? Not even big trades, but consistent trades. Consistency is what builds a trader, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot of insight into today's markets and why it did what it did. And like the video, subscribe, comment, and also if you want more of these videos, I'm uploading them every day, right? This is the second video I've done on the channel. Hope you enjoyed it, and subscribe. Much love.